Basically, in the opening statement of this hadith, the Imam says to stop and not indulge, to refrain from something that's questionable, something that's doubtful, is better than to go and indulge in it. What does this mean? Historically, there has been a big debate between the Usulis and the Akbaris about a hadith like this. The Akbaris are those Shia scholars who maybe we can consider literalists. Their approach to the world of hadith is more of a literal approach, whereas the Usulis have certain, rational standards in dealing with the hadiths. There aren't that many differences between them, but there are some core differences. One difference is the following. Akhbaris state that whenever you are dealing with a questionable situation, you don't know, is this haram or is it halal? Let me just give you a very common example. Smoking. Is smoking halal or haram? We don't know. We looked at the evidence. There's nothing clear about it. Is it that harmful? If it's proven to you that it's excessively harmful, of course the law of no harm will make it haram. But let's say it's not proven to you that it's that harmful. So what do you do now? Is it halal or haram? Or let's say cloning, or surrogate mothers, right? Is this something halal or is this something haram? So whenever we deal with a situation like that, the akhbaris will tell you, if this is questionable, stop. Consider it haram until it's proven that it's halal. The usulis, they say no. They say the rational principle tells us that if Allah has not clearly revealed to us that something is haram, we can assume that it's halal. Because it does not befit God to punish us for something that we had no knowledge of. This is rationally not befitting. Rationally, it's unacceptable. You can only punish your slave if you've made it clear to him that this is a prohibition. This is something you're not supposed to do. So there is this historical debate between the Akhbaris and the Usulis. One of the hadiths that the Akhbaris have cited is the following. The Imam ﷺ says, it's better to stop at something that's questionable than indulge in it, than do it. Now what's the argument that the Usuli scholars will give when analyzing such a hadith? The Usuli scholars say, there is no doubt that it's better. To be cautious is always better. But are you obligated? The hadith doesn't say you have to, it says it's better, khayrun. Exercising precaution is better than indulging in something that's questionable. But it's not saying that it's mandatory. And so that's their argument, that ihtiyat, precaution, is always good. No one doubts that. But we're not obligated to exercise caution in matters that are questionable if we don't have evidence that it's haram. So one example that we have from the hadiths, a person wants to marry a woman, and the person doubts, was her divorce a valid divorce or not? You have doubts for whatever reason. Now according to Islamic law, as long as a woman is saying, I'm divorced, do you accept her claim or no? You accept her claim, absolutely. But if you have some doubts about the validity of her divorce, what does the law of precaution state? Stay away from such a marriage until you know for a fact that it's clear. Why? Don't put yourself in a situation like that. What if after you marry her and you have children, you discover that the divorce was invalid? You're not obligated to be cautious, but it's good to be cautious. So this is one example of something that you're allowed to do, but it's better not to. So the Imam ﷺ starts this hadith with this open